Hello guys, welcome to a new video on Tower of God New World. And in this video, I'm going to go over some changes to the tier list, nothing major to be fair. I'm also going to talk about some more differences about SSR and SSR Plus units. I already briefly talked about it in the previous video, but now I have a clearer idea of what exactly changes. And yeah, then we're going to go over the Revolution tab that I just updated with the information and additional investment that you could do on the SSR Plus units. I also made some changes to the wishlist tab, and then we could also just go over the adventure itself. We can try out some units, and that's about it, I would say. So first thing is that I added a credits tab where I added a reference to the spreadsheet that is maintained by BBNIC. In this spreadsheet, you can just find any kind of information on the game. There are a lot of useful tabs. The one I used for my spreadsheet at the moment is this one with the revolution information, so the cost of upgrade and also the stats for the different levels of upgrades. The ones for bonus elimination energy, we don't really have most of them, but I kind of deduced them using the reports of the other stats. I noticed that they were more or less constant, so I could fill in the gaps on those. And I will show you in my spreadsheet soon. Here you can find information on really a lot of things. You can find detailed information on the revolution skill of every single unit without having to go into the game, which is really helpful as well. Some information in general on astrolabe, gifts, what every unit likes and dislikes, etc. Really a lot of useful information that's already in the game, but is not all of it is in the game, but is in any case well presented and clear to understand. So yeah, just feel free to have a look at it. You will find the link in the credits tab. Now, other than that, let's go over the tier list and I will mention the changes. Well, actually, we could go look at the change log. And here, what I changed are only two units, Eden and Machine. To be fair, I should probably change or downgrade some other units, some SSR units, but instead of doing the job 2 times, I will wait for mid-July for them to receive the tier 4 to 6, and then I will make the changes to them as well. Now, there are really a lot of units at S plus ranking, and that's also, I think, reasonable because there are a lot of great units now, and I don't feel like downgrading any of them yet. So yeah, definitely things are kind of going to stay this way for now. I still have to rank this guy. I'm not sure where I want to rank him. I will probably give him a similar ranking to Shibisu, probably slightly higher, because I can see potential in this guy. But yeah, still a pretty good unit nonetheless. So I increased the ranking for Eden. This guy is a beast, and his tier 5 ability is absolutely nuts. This guy with just 100% resistances can kill everything and also buff the damage of your team if you're playing with other magic damage dealing units, which is really, really good. The other unit is Machine. I think this unit is a beast now. I tried her with the Sundance and resistances. She really melts anyway, and I don't even have tier 4 and T5 because mine is only orange too. So really looking forward to her. She's definitely S plus and huge, like really, really strong. What else? I think the rest is pretty much the same, really no changes. I will go over each SSR plus unit and the revolution in the revolution tab. First, I wanted to mention the wishlist tab. I changed some things here. I removed Vespa, for example, and I replaced her with hats. Here, to be fair, I should probably rethink how I want, how these units should be prioritized. But I still think it's kind of solid if you want to go with these priorities. But yeah. I added Kaiser in the due priority as well. I added her after Zahard 3 red, just because red as an enemy is kind of weak, even early on in the game, so you don't really have to worry about killing them. But still, Kaiser is an awesome unit. I also added Viol and Kaiser Rainbow here because of obviously the revolution that you can get access to if you get them to Rainbow. So I added them. And yeah, that's pretty much all the changes I did to this tab. I'm checking if I made any other changes here and there. I don't think so. That's fine. Now, the Revolution tab is what I changed the most today. And okay, you will find a lot of black cells just because those are the ones for SSR units. Do not bother with them. And you will find that I still haven't added any no. Most of the cells are still like to be defined, because for those of which I were sure, I put a yes. The other ones just to be defined because I still have to think a bit more about those. Now you will see that in this column investment, I added an additional one for the revolution ore required, and the total amount of revolution fragments and shining fragments takes into account the new tiers as well. So I made the changes to the formulas. And here on the right, you will find the additional stats that I added. These tables are just used for formulas, but if you want to look at them, feel free to do so, I would say. And this is the table that I kind of took from BBNIC. And this bonus elimination energy, as I mentioned before, has been deduced, most of it. And the way I did it is just comparing, like, for example, the first stat with the one I had left or like was missing for all stats, and see the percentage increase, because I found out that is kind of precise, more or less. Obviously, there are some roundings here and there, but yeah, it's more or less precise. And the level 20 is highly likely going to be 600. And yeah, that's more or less it. Now, one important thing to mention is the difference between SSR and SSR Plus units, and that is SSR only have access to level 10, and level 10 is 26% of the level 20 stat, which is like 1/4 of the amount of stats that an SSR Plus gets, which is nuts. Really is really insane. Like an SSR unit gets 23.7 crit rate, while an SSR Plus unit gets 90%. This just means that in PvP, SSR units are going to get destroyed always by SSR invested SSR Plus units, because like you can have a unit with 90% crit hit resistance, an SSR Plus with that amount of stats, and an SSR enemy can have max 23.7% crit hit resistance. So you're just going to crit all the time, and they will never crit against you, which is weird, but okay. And also, like, that was just an example with crits, but literally everything. Like, you have 60% special move peers that have 15.8. It's really nuts, guys. It's really insane. These was not, like, in my opinion, this is just stupid. It makes no sense. They shouldn't have done this kind of like boost to SSR plus units. It's weird. I would have gone with a linear here as well. SSR plus would get double the stat that the SSR gets, but this is 4 times the stat. This is nuts, guys. This is really stupid. So okay, whatever. We'll see how it goes. They might adjust things. I have no idea. And here we have also the cost of the upgrades. And you will see like some of the units, I think Machiny, yes, Machiny, with all the upgrades I selected, is 99,000 of the orange fragments. That's a ton. And 600 evolution ore is really, really insane. But yeah, yeah, really insane. I think there is one where I selected more, and I think it's Ren. Because even though I don't really like the upgrades that Ren gets with the skills, I try to like briefly say what this upgrade does. Obviously, you can find more details in game, but here just to summarize it a bit so that it's also present here. I don't really like the effect of the tier 4 and tier 5 for Ren, but mages have they have stacked additional stats. Really crazy. Crit rate, crit damage, attack, cooldown reduction, special move pierce. That's just insane, guys. That's a lot of stuff. So yeah, he will cost you 106,000 orange fragments. This is nuts. But okay. So here, I haven't really changed the priority. To be fair, I will do that in the following days when I'm more certain. I think it's still kind of correct, pretty much. But yeah, probably I should actually. Let me just make this change really quickly. This one, yeah. So before like confusing you guys, I only selected nodes that I think are worth, and whenever I had a doubt, I left to be defined. So yeah, don't worry too much about priority. If it's selected here, it's a safe node to pick. Okay. And I would say the ones that I was more certain about were Edan, makes total sense. Evan, in my opinion, can just stay without any of these investment for a long time and just forget about it. The skills are nothing too important, and the effect that supports and tanks get are really awful. Really, really suck. I mean, I don't even know why. Even warriors are kind of bad. Ranged units and mages are insane. Assassins as well, but supports, warriors, and tanks, the worst of all, I would say. Those three are just terrible. So you will probably never see a tank or support at the moment with a yes, because the stats are just shit, in my opinion, from my point of view. So yeah, probably the only one could be Gustang for attack, but even then, like, it's just attack. Everything else is kind of worthless. But okay. So yeah, here for the yellow element, we have Urek with no investment. I don't like him. His tier 4 and tier 5 seem okay on paper, but you don't really need those. I don't know. That guy is just a failure, and these revolution for him doesn't do a thing, in my opinion. It's not going to make him viable, and it's not going to make him stronger than Hats. So just forget about him. Adan, as I already said, awesome with 100% resistances and their tier 5. This guy is a beast. I didn't put any investment in basic attack pierce because I mean the main source of damage if you go the resistance route is not going to be basic attacks. You don't really want to waste resources there. That's why I didn't even bother adding it. Obviously, it will help somehow, but not a big deal at all. Cooldown reduction could be really, really cool, but again, I don't feel like I want to recommend to do this amount of investment on that unit. Is not really going to matter that much at all. I didn't even put crit damage increase. Doesn't really matter, guys. I mean, this guy just needs to survive, shred the enemy, magic resistance, and just destroy them with max HP damage. That's all it needs to do. Also attack. I mentioned it because attack could be worth it, but still, I put it as like low priority. Just don't worry. Just unlock tier 4 and tier 5, and the nodes, you can leave them there. It's fine. Evan, I already mentioned the skills I don't really like, and all the additional stuff or the additional stats are just shit, in my opinion. Makes no sense. Gustang, tier 4, kind of whatever. Okay, you can cast the bots more frequently. Is definitely nice if they are dying, and they will because they only get 80% of your stats. So it's okay, but nothing too crazy. The increase in defense, okay for PvP, doesn't really matter in adventure, in my opinion. It's okay if you want to pair him with Hats 2.0, but never gonna happen, in my opinion. Like you don't really mix those together, so makes no sense. Just forget about him. And again, the substats are just terrible. Do not upgrade him. Karaka has some cool ones, to be honest, like Reign of Darkness, so the one that gets it Orange 4 is pretty cool. And the one that gets Tier 5, so Rainbow 5, is not needed, in my opinion, because you already have a lot of sustain from Myongo. So I don't really see a reason to go for this guy. I mean, if you have him at Orange 4, sure, unlock Tier 4. But most people won't have this amount of investment, so I didn't even bother adding it. But yeah, this could definitely be a yes. I will add it as a yes if you have him, unlock it, but do not invest in like do not get dupes for Karaka. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. Mashini, she's a great one, to be honest. We're going to try her in a bit in adventure with the new Sundance set that I farmed. It's a magic, no, it's a like it's a resistance set with magic beer substats, and she melts. Mine is not even orange 4, so I don't have the tier 4, I don't have the tier 5, but still, she is just insane. She's just insane. And as I said, like contrary to Kunadan, Mashini needs the nodes below to deal damage or to deal more damage because she doesn't have like HP percentage, like enemy HP percentage based damage. So her damage comes from her basic attacks, meaning you will get like you will use the attack roll, you will use the crit damage roll, you will definitely use the basic attack pierce. Huge, 100% pierce there is awesome. And cooldown reduction, to be fair, could even be removed because you like if you cast skill, it delays your auto attack, but with the amount of swiftness you should have, it's not a big of a deal. So it's okay to have it, but leave it for last and don't worry about it. And yeah, again, as I said, tier 4, huge. You get a ton of attack buff from this, and it could potentially stack 6 times. I haven't tested it. Again, I don't have it, but it seems to be the case. So you could get a 600% attack bonus, which also means this one is less relevant. But yeah, still good to have, I would say, at least for the beginning phases of the game. And will also decrease the cooldown of that skill, so you can have it up basically all the time. Really, really cool. Now, over to the next one. I would say Evankel is similar to Ren as to, I would say, just upgrade almost everything. The thing is, I don't really use her that much. I don't think she's at the level of some other units. I just don't really want to invest in her, but definitely if you get her some crit rate, some crit damage, special move pierce, attack, she's going to be a monster 100%. It's just, I don't know. I don't feel like adding her, like putting yes, yes, yes here just yet. I don't know. Doesn't really resonate with me that well. I'm not using her that often, so yeah, that's more or less the thing. Then we have Jin Sung Ha. This guy has some okay, I would say tier 5, tier 4 ability upgrade and some kind of irrelevant tier 5 skill upgrade. I did upgrade this guy. I don't really feel like it made a big difference, to be fair, but I did not upgrade crit rate. This one would definitely be a big one to get. So with your Rayana, you just one shot the first enemy 100% of the times, even though you'd still do that because you play Jinsung with Waryun, so you get the additional crit rate. But If you are in a situation where you just put him in a team without Varian, definitely the crit rate will help a bit, and the crit damage as well. So yeah, all those stats are great. The bonus elimination energy, in my opinion, you will play him with Varian again, and you're going to get energy anyway. Doesn't matter. This is just too much. But yeah, let's just move on. I think it's safe to get him to tier 5. I wouldn't take him to tier 6, to be fair. E- Everything else doesn't really matter. It's just going to proc the passive, cast the special move, proc the passive again, cast the special move, and that in a loop. You don't need energy, you don't need cooldown reduction. I don't know. That's just how I feel about Ginsung as well. For Rack, some of those are pretty good, like tier 4 ability upgrade is cool. Attack decrease on the enemies, pretty cool in PvP. In Adventure, I don't know. Nowadays, I think like most units will run resistances, even the DPSs. Viol is one of the exceptions, but he has invincibility, so you don't really care too much about this. And the attack increase on Rack when he's attacking enemies using basic attacks against him is just weird. And as I already mentioned, the additional abilities for Adventure are really terrible for tanks, warriors, and supports. Could be useful in the future in PvP. If you are a PvP fan, then obviously you will also do those like supports, warriors, and tanks. But for Adventure, those are just bullshit stats, in my opinion. Then we have Viol. In my opinion, you can just get him to tier 5 and you're good. Basic attacks are a good part of his damage, but I don't feel like it's needed. The cooldown reduction, though, like 30% cooldown reduction for his bang skill would be insane, as it's his main source of burst damage. But I don't know if it's worth the extra investment. Like, it's really too expensive, guys. So yeah, that's what I would do. Just attack, crit damage, and that's about it. This doubling of the explosion came pretty, like, it was pretty useful in my opinion. It just allowed the damage to hit multiple people, so it was an overall kind of increase in damage. And I felt that, like, when you're facing enemies in the trials, especially that you are against blue enemies, most of them are close range. They are all together, and the increasing range basically just one-shotted all of them. And there I really noticed the increase in damage, but I wouldn't really prioritize is tier 5, to be fair. Like, the others are better. Now we have an interesting one, Data Machine. Her tier 4 and T5 upgrades are really crazy, in my opinion. They're really, really huge. So I don't know. Like, I'm really tempted. Unfortunately, I only ever at 3 red, so I cannot test it. But they're really tempting. Like, this one is going to increase the time she's invincible for quite a lot, in my opinion, quite a lot. And to be fair, this one is also one of the most important nodes for her, because every time she casts a skill, she gets 10 points of the uh, gauge, or however that's pronounced. That will be also pretty insane. And yeah, the double damage on the final explosion is also really, really cool. So I don't know, guys. I think she could be a really valuable unit for the blue element. So yeah, definitely if you have the dupes, one of those to upgrade, almost for sure. Escanor, bullshit. This one is really stupid. Like, after 5 seconds, you will have no debuffs on you, and you don't really care about heals. You take no damage. It's really weird. The tier 4 is weird. Tier 5 is also shit because your max HP, unless you are in PvP, is nothing. And even in PvP, it's nothing anyway. But in Adventure, is nothing. Your 5% max HP against enemies that have 4 times your HP, maybe more, I have no idea. But yeah, makes no sense. Makes no sense to me. And the other effects are just useless, as I already mentioned for tanks. Kaiser is huge. Tier 5 is the strongest single ability upgrade I've ever seen in all the other units. This is madness. But okay, armor inventory doesn't matter. Actually, it's almost a debuff because you waste time. You waste time that you could be basic attacking to cast a skill, and this skill doesn't matter for how I play this unit because I player with resistances. So to me, it makes no sense to have the protection from skills. It's just entirely useless. But whatever. She's really huge. Whenever she attacks a bleeding enemy, she will have double the accuracy. She will never miss. And she always crits, which means this 90% crit damage increase is insane. Then the 100% basic attack pierce is nuts. The cooldown reduction, not a big fan of, to be fair. This is also like lower priority in my opinion, because as I mentioned before, you're going to cast skills and delay basic attacks a bit, so it doesn't make a ton of sense, but it's still insane. Now, one unit that has also really great ability upgrades in my opinion is Urek. This guy has a swiftness steal in T4, comes pretty handy, and the 75%, am I correct? Yeah, 75% attack and defense increase from the passive, which is pretty cool. Everything else, though, is shit, more or less. Like, warriors really have bad effects here. Max cooldown reduction, again, could come in handy. I wouldn't bother, though. Like, just do the bare minimum. Do not waste additional resources. Rachel is one of those I kind of skipped. Is not too bad. Not too bad, but again, she's being kind of power crept, and I don't feel like you're going to use her. Now in bosses, she is not the best anymore, and in adventure, she was never really a great unit to begin with. So I don't feel like you should upgrade her skills, in my opinion. I might be wrong, we'll see in the future, but for now, I don't feel like it's a safe investment. Then we have regular Yuri. She's a really good one as well, because again, assassins have really great like secondary stats, and her upgrades are also pretty nice. The T4 one basically lets you use her as a wait a second, I think there is a mistake. Yeah, okay. So basically it lets you use her to protect from one-shot units in the enemy team, like a Michael or some other unit or a Misang or some those kind of units. You can just put um, Yuri opposite to them, and she will be invincible before she casts the first like air attack, which is huge. There were times where she just died because I thought she was supposed to be invincible. She wasn't, but now she's going to be. So pretty cool. Nothing too important, but pretty cool. And integrity gains a 40% physical pierce. This is good if you want to go for like more of a resistance build. I think this is really what they're also trying to let you do, because with a full damage build, I'm really struggling to keep her alive. So I think this one will let you go for like a 90 to 95% resistance build. You will survive enough with that, I think. And then you can just leverage both the damage taken from the special move and also these physical pierce from the T5. So really, really cool. Some bonus elimination energy could be interesting. Cooldown reduction could also be somewhat interesting, but nothing major. And yeah, Ren, I think I already covered him before. I don't like the cannot be targeted. I don't give a shit. This guy is invincible, so it's better if you target him. So I don't like this one. Invincibility when he goes to the bull to heal him, pretty much useless as well. He's not going to take damage anyway. So weird choices in my opinion. I mean, the excitement one, I kind of get it for like these two effects I said are useless. What they're doing is basically helping you proc L easily. So you can start the fight like after 5 seconds with L active, and then whenever he goes to the bull to heal him, is not going to, like, it doesn't matter if it takes damage because it will take no damage, but it will interrupt the L effect. The invisibility will prevent that, which is helpful. Yeah, for sure. That is, if you run L, which I think most people should do. So it's actually okay, but it's not for survivability reasons, guys. This is only to keep up the effect of L, not survivability. And the last one is the hard. To be honest, I didn't really get what this increased attack power actually is. I have no idea. I don't know if this attack power is just the attack power of the skill or I don't know. Actually, wait a second. Let's just read the skill because it might be more simple than I thought. What is that? This one, Needle of War. Where is it that it mentions attack power? There is nothing. Well, I mean, at this point, if you can get him to 100% resistances, which shouldn't be a big problem because this guy gets a 40% from the black hole sphere, and I think mine is already at 54, so it's almost close to that. So I'll get like 100% attack power increase, meaning that you will deal a shit ton of damage to units like Urek. This one could be interesting, to be fair, so it's okay. I would probably take it, and I will upgrade mine, I would say. Golden Needle always crits. Now, this one sucks for me, but in PvP, it would still suck for me because mine really has no evasion. So it will never happen. Even with a 220 increase, still too low. So for me, this is bullshit. But for you guys, if you have evasion on the strength essence facility, this skill is definitely strong. Otherwise, it's bullshit. So yeah, that's pretty much all, guys. Now, let me see if there is anything else I wanted to mention, but I don't think so. No. What time is, okay, 32 minutes into the video. I think we can just clear, what? This is interesting because I think I logged before from my phone. I don't know how it detected it now. It was like 30 minutes ago, but okay. Let's just give it a shot. I will try to clear this 6540. It will be no problem at all. I just wanted to showcase a little bit hats, also compress rack, maybe Machine, for sure Kaiser, and we'll see. Let's check. Quite slow. Okay, it's not even getting my clicks. Okay, perfect. We can go here. Okay, trial period ended. That's fine. So I was playing lately with this comp. It's not too bad, just because I wanted to try this guy with the set that I gave to Kaiser. And this one. Then this guy, I will use him with my, where is that? Two-piece Doris and two-piece L, just to maximize the number of attacks and the cooldown reduction, whatever. This guy, I will give him the Idea Doris set. And then these two will just get the support sets. I think I'm a little bit too overgeared for this fight. I should have just probably, yeah, I should have gone a bit easier on them. They will just destroy that enemy team. And Compress Rack with Sundance is an interesting thing because he already like, and especially with resistances, that's what I'm using here. Because that guy already has a ton of crit rate, crit damage, and pierce in his kit. You don't really need to go that offensive. If he survives, he's way better. So yeah, you can already see like the damage he deals is really insane. Now he's losing a lot of time attacking Kiseiya for some reason, but yeah. After, we're going to see the damage dealt by the units. I also think Hats will have probably will have dealt a ton of damage here because it was basically 1v4 for the whole time because Eden and the other guy were focused 100% of the time on that annoying Isaiah. So yeah. And here we are with the Sundance physical peers. Now, this guy is annoying, so I think I need to use an additional unit here. We'll just add her in the mix. Okay, she has 4 pieces of Doris, which is okay. This guy is enough, I would say, and I can just start also keeping these guys. There should be no overlapping, so it's fine. I will give Vivi the L Doris set as well. This guy, I will give the support set. I could give him an L set as well, but I don't really like that. It still deals a ton of damage with Runda, and I really like the Runda effect in general. And for her as well, Runda number 2. This guy should already have his set. Okay, perfect. And she already has hers. So here you can see the stats are not too bad. This one will increase by a ton when I get my hands on the revolution. Obviously, it's a 90% increase. That will be huge. And Magic Beers 42. I'm above 100% resistances, so he should be fine. Last team. Make sure he has stuff. He already has stuff. Okay. Probably they can also win even though the supports have no sets. We can try. Let's just leave them play and see what happens. Now here we only have to hope that Kaiser doesn't die from Hansung Yu. Okay, they also have Vicente. Yeah, and now Hansung Yu is focusing Kaiser. This is bad. Okay, it was lucky. She didn't get the defense shred, so it's fine. It was an easy win. But yeah, Hansung Yu is one of those hard opponents. Really, really annoying. I really love to play the purple team because everyone in this team has resistances. They never die, and the heals from Gustang really help. So I love it. I really love it. Let's see if this team can actually win without the supports with the resistances. Only Red Mask Warren has it, and I think it's fine. No, okay, Vespa is still alive. Damn it. And only Red Mask Warren is alive on my side, so not good. Did I miss anything else? No, that one is fine. So I just need to give them these sets. He's a bit faster with the filter, but I don't know. They could have done better, I think. Let's just try another way. Unfortunately, I think the Ice Attack enemy is the hard, so that's kind of tricky to use Jin Sung Hai in this fight. I might swap him out for Michael if I'm having an hard time. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. The highest attack enemy is the hard. That's terrible. If you are lucky, Viol is going to kill those 3 in one hit. No, unfortunately, they were not that close, and Viol is dead. Damn it. Could still be good. Okay, that guy was dead. That's not good. But it's a oh, okay, it's a 3v1. Zahard was already dead, so that's good. Now, if you have a look at the damage dealt, look, guys, look at the damage that Hats deals. Okay, it was 1 before most of the fight. That means that he could just, well, probably 1v3 because Endorsi was against someone else. But yeah, he had a lot of time to deal damage to those idiots while these two were busy trying to kill Thea somehow, and she was not dying. But yeah, as you can see, it definitely has a ton of damage potential. I really like this guy. The damage he deals is high. The utility is not bad. He also has a ton of defense shred. Not bad overall, but in my opinion, not a priority. Still, a really good unit. And Compressed Rack with resistances still dealt a ton of damage, even though it wasted a lot of time attacking only one unit. But yeah, pretty cool. Here, well, no surprises. We have a ton of damage from Kaiser. To be fair, I'm kind of surprised with Machine. She dealt a ton of it, like 28k. Definitely, I would like to get her to Rainbow 5 and invest a bit more on her. But yeah, pretty good fight overall. And Kaiser is just insane. Then we have here the fight with Machine. And this is surprising because I didn't expect Machine to deal more damage than Vivi. Just because mine is just too orange, I don't have all the increases from Revolution. So I didn't expect her with resistances to deal as much damage as Vivi. Even though she's 20 levels higher, doesn't matter because Vivi deals damage based on the enemy max HP. That's why I never put her in the ice slot. Makes no sense. I just leave her in one of the others and that's it. So yeah, I was expecting her to deal less damage, but this is really, really good. So yeah, you can see resistances on Machine works really, really well. She deals AoE damage. She can kill, and together also with Vivi, they can kill Urek super easily. So I love them. And here we have the red team. Nothing strange here. We just have Jin Sung Ha that deals overkill damage. So it just shows a ton of damage. And then we have Viol that is crazy good. And the rest just cleaned up after him. That's more or less how it went. So I would say, guys, that's pretty much all. It's a long video again. I just hope it was useful. And yeah, that was pretty much all. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.